Hey guys, what's up? It's AppleCritics from AppleCritics.com. In this video, I have another special video, and that one is going to be on the iPadOS 14 Beta 2. So today, Apple unveiled a bunch of new updates that included the Beta 2 for iPadOS, iOS, watchOS, and also tvOS. So in this video, we're going to be specifically focusing on iPadOS 14 Beta 2, but on my channel, I also will have all the latest videos for all of the new software beta updates. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this video. So to start off, what we're going to do is just simply go into Settings, and then we're going to go into General, and then About. And then if we take a look, we're going to see that I'm on iPadOS 14. And then if we take a look at the build number simply by tapping on 14 twice, you're going to see that it'll say 18A5319I. So that means that we're getting closer to the final builds. So normally it will start off with an alphabet letter such as V, which was in Beta 1. So it's towards the end of the alphabet. And as you get closer to the final update, it slowly increases up the alphabet. So for example, Beta 1 once again was V, Beta 2 is I, and then it can go into D and then B and then A. It would probably be the Gold Master, which is the final version of iPadOS. So that is very interesting. It's just good to see that it's progressing like it should. So once again, we're on iPadOS 14, and that is the build number right there. Now we can also take a look at the software update tab, and it says that iPadOS 14 and my software is up to date. So you can see that we are on the latest version of iPadOS. Now, in terms of the software update, it actually had a file size of roughly 700 megabytes. So that is quite a hefty update. It's not like it was 4 gigabytes like the original Beta 1 update was, but 700 gigabytes is still a decent update. So you want to have enough storage for this update. So I recommend at least having double the storage at minimum. So at least have 1.4 gigabytes or up to 1.5 or 1.6 gigabytes just to be sure, in order to make sure that you have enough space for the latest and greatest software update of iPadOS 14 Beta 2. Now, if you come into any problems when it comes to updating, it's probably going to be that storage space. So you just want to make sure that you have enough storage space once again. So the first major cosmetic update that you're going to see is the calendar icon. So instead of just saying the full Tuesday, it only just says an abbreviated version of Tuesday. So you can see it says TUE. And then if you were to look at iPadOS 14 Beta 1, it would have the full Tuesday. So this is pretty much a comparison. So you could see here that it says Tuesday and it has the full word. So now it's just abbreviated with 3 letters. So if we do look at the 7, you can see that the 7 is a lot more bold now, and you can see that the font of the 7 is just slightly changed, and it's more apparent when you take a look at it. Now, if we put all the apps in wiggle mode, and we go ahead and want to add a new widget, you can see that there will now be a new widget for the Files widget. So that's good to see that there's finally a new widget right here. We can finally add the Files widget to our home screen. So that's good. So we have just the recent ones. So only access the ones that you've recently opened. And then we can go on to the next page. So we have the quickly accessed files you've recently opened. And then we can just see that we just have those 2. And it has 8 total options for files we have here. And then right here only has 4. So you can see just the overall shape and the overall difference. So you can just go ahead and add the widget. And now when we go ahead and add that widget, actually what is different is just the color. So depending on what particular widget you have, the color of the add widget will be different. So since the Files app is a blue based widget, then the bottom add widget will be blue. So if it was reminders or calendar, it would be red at the bottom. So that's really nice that Apple chose to just do that small cosmetic change. So what we can do is just simply add that widget. And now if we take a closer look, we have it right here. So when we actually tap on the Files widget, it will go directly into that file. So it won't go into the Files app and then somewhere else. It goes directly into launching the file. So whether it's a PDF, whether it's a MP3, whether it's an MP4 video. So it will just go directly into that app. So I really do like that integration of it. You can see once I tapped on it, it went straight on into the audio for one of my videos. So you can see it's just that good. So you can hear my voice and you can see it's just in the MP3 audio player. So you can see that it just went directly into that part of it. So it didn't go into your Files app just to show you all your files on your iPad or anything like that. It just went straight to where you wanted it to go. So that's a nice adjustment that Apple made. And I'm glad that they added the Files widget. And that gives us more hope that they're going to integrate some more of their stock apps into the widget section. Now, it would be good if Apple would just keep on integrating more apps and make the widgets more interesting. Now, if you're wondering if we could finally move our widgets from today's view onto the actual screen and right under our apps, drum roll please, well, you can. Because Apple still did not make any addition to change that. So I guess this is the intended layout of all the widgets. So they're always going to be on the side. So it's never going to be right here where all the apps are. So that's just the way that Apple chose that they wanted it. So that's essentially all you can do. So the widgets won't be able to be moved around and you can't get bigger sizes on the iPad or anything like that. It's just set to that today's view on the left side of the iPad pretty much. So now the reminder widget slightly changed, so you can once again enter the apps into wiggle mode. And then you can add that widget. So if we go ahead and choose reminders, so you can see you have the list widget under reminders, so it will allow us to get quick access to one of your reminder lists. And then you can see you can get another access for the reminder list, and you can see it provides more information. So what we can do is just add this view. So now you can see that I have the two reminders widgets right there. So what's new is that it actually tells you what the reminder is particularly pertaining to. So that is definitely a great feature. So before it just would say that you have two reminders, but then it actually shows you what your reminder is about. So my reminders are talking about groceries and filming a video. So you can see that is just what is now present there. So it's good that Apple finally made the adjustment to show what the reminder was about rather than just having the number there and not really remembering what the particular reminder was about. So that is definitely a good adjustment. Now, what we can do is actually go into settings. And then we can go into the music settings. So now once you're in settings and then specifically under the music tab, you can see that you have some new options. So the first new option is that you have the ability to disable album art downloads and then just enable it only on Wi-Fi, because if you don't already know, just downloading the album artwork will take up some of your cellular data, so you don't want to always be using your cellular data just to show the album artwork. All you pretty much care about is just the overall song on your iPad at that time. So you can go ahead and alter that. So that is definitely good. Now, I did realize that there's a new option called Use Listening History right there. So it just basically will allow you to see what music was previously played, and it can develop an algorithm and recommendations based on the song. So that is just pretty much the major features in the Apple Music settings. Now, there's also reports of users saying that the clock app is slightly different. You can see that the hands are just slightly more bold and thicker than normal. So that is also a new aesthetic change that Apple chose to make. Now, iPadOS 14 is pretty much focused on the Apple Pencil with the scribble features. But now there's finally a new feature. So here we have the Apple Pencil. Now, once we attach the Apple Pencil, we can go into an app that uses it the most. So let's say, for example, Notes. Let's say, for example, we go ahead and use the Apple Pencil. What we can do is actually take a screenshot. And then we can tap on the screenshot. And now, when we take a look at all these buttons right here, you're going to see that we have all the different colors for the Apple Pencil that we can write with. We have the option to remove certain colors from this section. So that's a new feature in iPadOS 14 Beta 2. So instead of just always having a default color right here, you can just go ahead and remove it. So it's good that Apple gave us that option. So that pretty much is the newest feature. And that's just the more notable feature that isn't just about cosmetic and app icons and slight differences. Now, the major reason for this beta is just fixing all the bugs and just giving some stability improvements. So that's just the main thing that iPadOS 14 brings to the table. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to smash that like button down below. Also smash that subscribe button and be sure to stay tuned for more great content. And be sure to follow me on all the social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. My username there is AppleCritics. And be sure to subscribe for more great content. And thanks for watching.